I was shook. I finally got my hands on 4 of the new Wet n Wild products. I don't know if these are all the new products they came out with. I know they've came out with like cushion, bronzer, and highlighter stuff, but I didn't pick those up. I just picked up the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation and the Wet n Wild Photo Focused Pressed Powder, Megaglo Makeup Stick Contour, Photo Focus Concealer. Since I'm testing 4 different products, I'm gonna start off my makeup like I normally would. So I'm gonna prime my skin, and I'm using the Dr. Brandt Pores No More Pore Refiner Primer. You guys know this is one of my favorite primers. So I'm just putting this in my T-zone and where I have pores. So I'm gonna go ahead and read just a few things about the foundation. It's a skin perfecting foundation that was tested under 7 different photo lighting to deliver flawless camera ready makeup, and it has light diffusing complex to give your skin a no filter perfection. It also helps prevent white cast in photos, so we're going to test that with the flash photo, and it has high performing breakthrough formula. This is the packaging. As you can see here, just says Photo Focus Foundation. I got mine in the color Desert Beige Medium Dark. Basically it's supposed to be a foundation that doesn't give you flashbacks, so that's always good. The applicator, I've never used anything like this. It has this like spatula type of situation going. I don't know how the color is gonna look on me either, but we'll see. And then I'm gonna do this side. That was actually probably even too much. This thing feels pretty thick. It feels like it's gonna have nice coverage. So I'm gonna do half with a brush, half with a sponge, like I always do. I'll do a brush first. I'll do this side here. I'm using my Morphe M439, the brush that I always use for foundation reviews. And I'm just gonna blend this right in. The color's a little, it's probably like 1 to 2 shades maybe deeper than my skin tone. On camera it looks fine though. And once I get a little more tan, it'll also look really nice. The coverage though, the coverage so far, bomb. I probably even put a little too much foundation, but I'm like, hold up, the coverage, you guys. Okay, you can kind of see I already covered most of my acne, but you can see here, you can see a little bit of my acne. And as soon as I go over that, it's gone. This also has more of that paint smell to it. I don't like when foundations have that smell, but this one has that. Now that we're done blending it with a brush, I'm gonna go ahead and use a Real Technique sponge. I was gonna use a beauty blender, but my beauty blender is currently not clean. So we're just gonna use this. See, look, acne right here. Go over top of it. It's gone. It's blending out a little more sheer with the sponge, but that for me always happens when I use a sponge. So now that we've applied our foundation, I'm gonna go ahead and try out the concealer. So for the concealer, it also says that it was tested under 7 light conditions, and that this instantly brightens and perfects appearance of skin. It conceals imperfections, dark spots, and blemishes, and that it's gentle enough to use on the delicate under eye area. It also tells you the 7 light conditions in which this concealer, and I'm guessing the foundation, was tested under. So it's clear blue sunlit sky, outdoors PM, indoors PM, electronic flash, fluorescent light, bathroom light, and nightclub light. So when you're at the club, this foundation should come all the way through, okay? And the concealer. So we're gonna see. Well, I'm not going to the club, but we're gonna see with the flash photo and everything. You know what I mean. So I got mine in the color Medium Peach, and this one looks like it's gonna be about my skin tone, maybe a shade lighter, but I haven't swatched it or anything, so we'll see. I'll just swipe this underneath the eye very lightly. It does feel pretty thick so far. And the foundation's kind of drying up and setting now, and it has that tight, like tacky, very matte feel to it. This is actually about 2 shades lighter than my skin tone. On the little bottle on the packaging, it looks like it would be my skin tone, but it's actually lighter. So it's gonna also brighten up my under eyes and the center of my face. So I'm gonna do some on my nose as well. I typically don't really do this, but we're gonna do it all. And I'm gonna blend all of this with a sponge. I always blend my concealer with a sponge, so that's what I'm gonna use. Okay, so the concealer also has nice coverage. I kind of wish I had a color that was maybe 1 shade deeper, but that's fine. Once we set it and do the rest of our makeup, I think it'll look fine. But the coverage is definitely there. And then my chin. And this is one of the concealers that once you blend it, it doesn't disappear. Like, you can see that area is highlighted. You can see my chin is highlighted, that I used a color that's a little bit lighter. I've had concealers that I put on, and when I blend it, it just kind of blends right into my skin, and it's like, this concealer is like 2 shades lighter than my skin tone. Why is it blending in with my skin? It looks like I didn't even do anything. This one, you can see the difference. My lighting is so on and off. It's so annoying. Sorry, you guys, I apologize. It's out of my control, but we're gonna move on to contouring. So I'm gonna use the Wet n Wild Megaglo Makeup Stick Contour in the shade, what shade is this? Call Me Maple. When I saw this, I automatically knew that I wanted to try it because I love contour sticks, and I have yet to find one from the drugstore that's meant for contouring. I use the Maybelline Fit Me stick in a deeper shade, but that is a foundation, so it's not necessarily meant for contouring. We just make it work that way. So this is actually meant for contouring. So it's a contour stick just like this. I'm scared this is gonna mess up my foundation because it feels like I kind of have to like press it for it to really show like pigmentation. I'm just gonna dab it on my skin. It feels like you really have to press down to get some kind of pigment out of it. And if I press, it's gonna smear my foundation. So I'm just gonna very lightly, yeah, see, it's like kind of picking up some of the foundation I have under there. I'm gonna use a brush instead. I'm gonna use my Morphe M492. It's this dual fiber brush. And I'm just gonna run it on the foundation, no, not the foundation, the contour stick to pick up some of that color. And I'm just gonna tap it into my skin. I would recommend doing this just because I feel like the consistency of this is just gonna mess up your foundation. It's not too creamy, at least in this area. On here it is. It is kind of getting a little bit streaky and kind of patchy in this area because of the fact that I rubbed it. Hopefully the other side won't look like that. I'm gonna try it on this side without rubbing it on there. I'm gonna do it on my forehead though, because on here, didn't mess anything up. It was just on my cheek. So I'm just gonna tap it. Very, very nice. I don't know about this side, but with the brush and everything, I think this side looks really nice. Looks nice and bronzy. So this is how my base looks once it is blended out and everything. So we have one more product to test out, and it is the Photo Focus Pressed Powder in Golden Tan. This is supposed to set makeup with unbelievably soft satin finish. It reduces shine throughout the day, and each shade covers a range of skin tones. So that is what this powder is supposed to do. One thing I will say is that so far I feel like the foundation is looking good, but it is accentuating my pores. And I used a pore minimizing primer underneath this foundation, and it's still accentuating my pores. Let me zoom you guys in, hopefully you guys can see. I'm pretty sure it's kind of hard to see here on camera, but it's accentuating my pores all in this area right here. So I'm just gonna swirl my brush in there, and I'll just tap it onto my skin. I don't like to buff really any product onto my skin because I don't want to rub my foundation around. So this is how my skin looks once I finish applying the powder on top. And I do like the way the powder works. It kind of like mattifies and smooths at the same time. It just completes the look and gives you a nice matte flawless kind of finish. So now I'm going to go ahead and finish off the rest of my makeup. I'm going to take a flash photo before doing my makeup and after, just so you can see how it looks and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up my makeup and I will be right back. Okay, so this is how my skin is looking after finishing up the rest of my makeup. I just put on some bronzer. I set my bronzer in place. I put on a lip color highlight and mascara. Kept it very simple like always. So my thoughts on the products so far. I'm still going to put them to the test throughout the day, but so far these are my thoughts. The foundation, I was shook on the coverage of this foundation. I was not expecting that much coverage. I like the coverage. The color is a little bit deep for me, but like I said, the shades that were there were the only shades that they had. Especially because it said it was like a your skin but better kind of foundation. I was not expecting this medium to full coverage. The only thing with this foundation, it does have that very tacky feel to it. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me kind of the Smashbox foundation, in the sense that it has that tackiness, and it also kind of describes that it does something similar to that one. Plus they tested it in different lighting and stuff, which I believe they also did for the Smashbox Studio Skin, but that is just my observation. So yeah, the tightening and the kind of tacky feeling is definitely there with this foundation. It isn't a lightweight kind of foundation at all. You're definitely going to feel this on your skin, but it does have a nice kind of like demi matte finish. I wouldn't say it's like super matte, but it has a nice demi matte finish to it. It has that coverage, and it just gives your skin a nice overall even complexion, flawless perfection, like all of that stuff. It just makes your skin look bomb, just put it that way. Like I said earlier though, I was kind of able to see my pores. I'm not expecting the foundation to cover my pores, but I don't want it to enhance my pores either. So that's the only thing that I noticed that I didn't like about the foundation, plus the scent as well. So I like the coverage. I like the way it looks on my skin. I like the colors like there. I just don't like that it enhances my pores even with a pore minimizing primer underneath. And I just don't like the feeling of it and the smell of it as well. For the concealer does have nice coverage as well. I wish I kind of had a shade darker than this, but it works fine. The shade that I have kind of like brightens underneath the eyes a little bit. I like the consistency, and I like that it doesn't disappear once I blend it. This is a pretty thick concealer, so I can kind of see it creasing underneath the eyes if you don't set it. The contour stick, oh my goodness, I love this contour stick. Love, I'm not kidding you guys. The color is very nice. The formula is also really nice, but I would not suggest going in and swiping it. As you guys were able to see, it got kind of patchy in this area. I would suggest going in with a brush and then, you know, just kind of swirling it and buffing it into your skin. Other than that, the color is on point for this contour stick. It is not too ashy. I don't like cool tone contour sticks at all. I just feel like they don't go with me. I like more of a bronzy kind of look. So yeah, this contour stick's really nice. And then the powder worked good as well. I don't really notice a huge difference with or without the powder, to be quite honest with you. I think that if you were to go in with just your translucent powder, the foundation would still look as good. It did kind of give my face more of a flawless even kind of look, I guess you can say, and it mattified just a tad. But I think you can do without the powder, to be quite honest with you guys. So those are kind of like my first impressions on these 4 products. It is 1:47 p.m. so it's almost 2 o'clock. I'm gonna try to wear this foundation for at least 6 to maybe 8 hours. So I'll try to wear it until maybe 9-10 o'clock. I don't want to wear it too long just because of how it feels, but I'm gonna check back in regardless at the end of the night just to show you how it looks after a few hours and how it's holding up throughout the day. Okay, I feel like it's been a long past few hours. Kind of ready to take the foundation off. On camera, it looks still pretty good. I didn't even tell you guys what time it is. It is $9.40. So the foundation, I actually really like this foundation. When I first apply it, it looks bomb. Now, the foundation is pretty tacky still. I actually just came home from my parents' house and I greeted my mom and our cheeks touched and she's like, your face feels sticky. And I was like, yeah, that's because I'm trying a new foundation. So it is most definitely even tacky to the touch. $5.99 for the foundation. Yes, give it a try. Although it did kind of enhance pores a little bit and it's a little tacky, for the price, it is worth it because of the fact that it has such high coverage. Most definitely worth the money. It's a beautiful foundation, you guys. Like up close, it's kind of hard to show you guys, but I'm starting to get a little oily. The light is behind me so you can't see the oil as much, but it is getting a little oily. It still looks fine. It's not as bad as some of my other foundations that I've tried. I have some tissue paper right here. I'm just gonna blot. And you're gonna see right away that the foundation's gonna pretty much look like it did when I first applied it. See how it's matte right here and then it's dewy on this side. So it does get a little bit oily, but nothing that blotting can't fix. It's not like my foundation's slipping off of my face. It's just a little bit oily. The concealer I also really like. It did stay in place. And it's not creasing too bad. It is creasing a little bit underneath, mainly this eye for some reason. You can't really see any darkness or anything that I typically have underneath my eyes. You can kind of see it right here, but it's not too bad. As far as the contour stick, also one that I also recommend. It did pretty much stay in place all day, especially after setting it with powder and everything. It's still there. I feel like it kind of faded a little bit, but most of it is still there. And then the powder, I don't know. I don't feel like you really need the powder, honestly. I mean, it's a good price, but I don't think that you need this powder with this foundation. I think you can use this foundation with a translucent powder or any setting powder that you already have. I mean, I think these three, the concealer, the contour stick, and the foundation are like must-haves. And then this, if you want to get it, you can get it. All four of these products at Walgreens cost me about 20 bucks. You almost get a full face for 20 bucks. That is a really good price, and these all do amazing things. For me, this whole collection right here, the new products that they just came out with, they're a yes for me. I honestly was not expecting this much from these products. I've tried Wet n Wild products before. I've done a full face tutorial using only Wet n Wild products, and the foundations were very lightweight and they kind of just blend into the skin and you have to build it up, and the concealers were the same, very, you know, lightweight and stuff, but they stepped it up and I was in total shock when I tried all of these products. They're amazing. Wet n Wild does have amazing products. It's just kind of like a hit or miss sometimes. These were all hits for me. Even the powder is nice, but like I said, it's not something that I think that you need. It's not anything that's like out of this world, but do not sleep on these three. These three are really good. So those are my thoughts on the new Wet n Wild products. To me, they are pretty fire. They're very good products. So I hope you enjoy this review. Any questions, just leave them in the comment section and I will try my best to get back to you as soon as I can. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you. If you have not watched my last video, go ahead and click here and it'll take you directly to that video. And if you're not subscribed to my channel yet, what are you doing? Make sure to subscribe right over here. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you all in my next video.